So thank you for joining us here at the Agretzko cast.
We're
gonna
take
Agretzko
all the time.
Yep, gonna take a slight break from our Agretzko-centric programming here to talk about some My Hero Academia. I'm your host, I'm Ben.
I'm Scott.
I'm Grant.
Today we watched episode 44 of My Hero Academia, in which Deku and Armwings kite the out-of-control Dark Shadow to the fight between Hellraiser, Bakugo, and Icy Hot. Dark Shadow defeats Hellraiser easily, then Bakugo and Icy Hot create enough light to bring it back under control. Love Interest Girl and Froppy fight a Lolicon, who steals Love Interest Girl's blood before Deku's group shows up and chases her away. Some clown-looking motherfucker shows up and turns Bakugo and Crowboy into marbles, I guess? It's weird. He meets back up with Frankenface twice and Lolicon, and as the episode ends, their group squares off against Deku, Icy Hot, and Armwings. I don't know how to describe what happens in the show anymore. It's a lot of people running around.
There's a lot of incidental stuff that happens along the way of characters just moving from place to place. Like that is sort of what these episodes have become, because hey, it's a chaotic, frantic free-for-all with all of these bad guys showing up and everyone just being like, oh, I guess we're here, we gotta go.
Yeah, it's in a very, I say this positively because often this can be a negative. It's a lot of set pieces for cool action sequences and some moments for characters to show off their powers. I like that, though. Like, sometimes you can use that, especially when there's one overarching thing that's tying it all together, which is the villains are after Bakugo. So
yeah, but other than that, I don't know. What actually happens? What are the there's the big sequence where I've been calling her Lolicon. She probably has a name, but she's a convict who's a lolly.
Oh gosh, I didn't put that together. That's super good. Hey, wait, is she a lolly, or is she just kind of like
She's
yeah?
she is at a glance I would call her a lolly just because she seems like a little girl.
Oh.
I would not at a just a visual appearance, I would not go, that's a full-grown adult woman.
Yeah. Also, she's not a college student who's like dressing up to go to her interview to get into grad school. Okay, she's very much dressing and acting to accentuate her youth, whatever her chronological age might be.
Well, she reminds me of what the Japanese are now calling gals, which they're not even. It's not even so lolicon-centric as much as it is like, oh, look at me, I'm bubbly and sweet and cool, and I probably have sex with a lot of guys. It's the worst. Well, no,
that sounds like the worst.
Who would like such a thing?
Well, you remember what's her face from Citrus? The not date rape, Yuzu.
The main character?
Yeah. They've actually got similar aesthetics, just pushed into different. Like whereas Yuzu was going for more like, yeah, I just want to have fun, have a good time. This one's more like, oh yeah, I like boys and I want to make friends.
And I want to stab them.
Well, yeah, and that's how she turns that. That's how she twists that.
Which was real good. Like jumping ahead a little bit just to that, but I when she was first introduced, I was kind of like, all right, here's the cutesy girl eye candy for dudes who want to see anime chick do stuff.
Yep.
But then she comes in and just like really ups the uncomfortable factor in a way that at least I'm personally not super used to, where it's like, okay, like I was waiting for I'm just the pixie dream girl psycho, like, and just that kind of thing. But then it was just a very like, no, I want to make friends. Aren't we going to be such good friends? As she's like just clearly getting ready to, stab a bitch, and it was real nightmare fuel there.
Yeah, she's kind of a Harley Quinn, like in terms of like. She doesn't have this big old power. She just seems like this crazy chick who could easily screw anything up at any time. But at the same time, she's got a great, like, this electric personality about her that she fits well.
And even though she's clearly, maybe not altogether there, she has faculties to be like, when the other group shows up, she's like, well, I don't want to die today, so bye. Just like, it's not the, oh boy, more meat for me to cut into. She's smart enough to go like, yeah, I'm outmatched, see you guys.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, but I suppose I did jump a little ahead, because before that, we've got the out-of-control Dark Shadow, which that's something that's been kind of hinted at, like, yeah, it gets harder to control in the dark.
So having him walk around in a forest at nighttime seemed like a real. Maybe this was more of a test for him than any other student in the group because they were like, "Hey, we're gonna send you out to this woods to scare you. Also, you have this really reactionary power that goes off of your emotions. I feel like fear would probably be a pretty big trigger for this. Maybe we should let him do it. It'll be a fun prank fest."
Well, as we see, that it was probably going to be fine because the trigger was not only were they under heavy stress, but they we also see that arm wing dude who's voiced by Ian Sinclair. That's the only thing I know of. That's the only thing I can connect with him at this point. Gets one of his arms cut off, which I remember the first time we saw that it was like, oh hey, that's a hand. Yeah. Why is that a hand? Whose hand is that?
Yeah, I was worried Nighttooth guy just ate him because while I I always forget Arm Wing Man's name and kind of not even sure what his personality really is. I think his design is cool, so I was like, it'd be a shame if he's just dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so we see taking that arm off is what did it. It's like seeing his friend get maimed was enough. It was the trigger for him to basically be like, all right, fucking Crow Hulk.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was kind of also introduced, that was the big cliffhanger from the last episode, and it got resolved relatively quickly, but I mean, I don't know that I needed it dwelled on much longer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm honestly kind of glad that it got solved as quick as it did, because we have this group of, this rogue group of villains who have shown up and are making a mess. I feel like spending too much time focusing on, and one of our friends has gone rogue too because he can't control his power, would be one of those things where it's like, all right, that's a problem that can happen. I get that, but I hope we don't hang on this for too long because I want to get to know these new guys more than hover on a character who has this flaw that we've heard of already.
Yeah.
But I think that might be the problem that I've been having with this sequence of episodes is that there are so many things going on in such rapid succession that any individual fight or conflict tends to come across as kind of weightless.
I haven't felt like that. I feel like this has been a great test for them to figure out how to handle not only an emergency situation, but one where they're just completely in the dark, like literally and figuratively. They're all spread out. They're all having to deal with these new villains that they don't know anything about. They're at a disadvantage, and just seeing how each character reacts has been really cool. And for Tokoyami, we only got a hint at what his power was, and what it could do at full. Mm-hmm. Getting to see that, even if just for a couple of minutes, was crazy. And not to mention it was animated so well. The art style that they do for Tokoyami, for Dark Shadow, is so cool.
The weird, sketchy kind of line.
I didn't know how they were going to do him. Mm-hmm. I was like, how do you do that in animation? And that was pretty cool.
The way I've been looking at this series of episodes is this has been, even though it has been showing stuff that isn't directly from his perspective, I've been viewing this as this is Deku's perspective of this insane night, because I feel like we are primarily focusing on his journey through these different fights. Because he shows up to Muscular after seeing stuff go down around the two pussycats, and their fight with Spinner and Pillar Sister, whatever her name is. Yep. And he runs over to Muscular, deals with that whole situation, gets the kid over to Eraserhead, which, by the way, is this, other than the first episode with the whole swimming adventure, I think this might be the first episode where that kid doesn't show up, I think, at all.
Who?
Coda. I don't think we see him at all this episode. I think this is the first episode this season where we don't see him for even a second.
Yeah, I mean, which is good. He wasn't necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But
so that whole thing goes down. Dark Shadow kicks Hellraiser's ass. That was good. That segment is great.
At some point, a character talks about Blade Tooth guy. He goes, he might not look it, but he's a death row convict. I'm like, no, that's exactly what he looks like. I'm sure this is sarcasm on your part, but no, I totally believe that just by looking at him.
So we got that. Then we got Froppy and love interest girl, Gravity Girl.
Yeah.
Fighting this crazy stabby lady.
Crazy stabby lady.
Which shit gets really... So first, love interest girl, takes her down with just some straight up old-fashioned martial arts, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
it's good to see that come back because they hinted at it, they showed you some of it,
Yep.
and we don't get to see any of it. And it's like here she's like, no, step out of the line of sight, grab, push down. I'm like, ah, damn, she took her down. That was like hard slam.
Yeah.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
I don't know that I needed the actual full-on visual flashback to her getting that training. It's like, yeah, I know they were doing internship stuff. It wasn't all that long ago. It's fine.
Part of me appreciates it just because when I was watching the series, that internship like bit just felt like filler, and I was like, none of this is gonna matter. Who cares?
Yeah,
so at least having a shot of it to be like, that's what I learned from Gunface or whatever that dude's name is. Just like was like, oh, okay, that did matter. Nice. I feel like that episode wasn't a waste then.
Yeah, I gotta agree with him. Like, while I remembered that she did that, again, the show is for kids, so I'm gonna forego a little bit of the like. You know what? Some kids might not remember exactly what happened there. That yeah, she did a bunch of training with that guy, but also it's just kind of good because that in the manga, that got even less screen time. So it is nice that they like, oh yeah, by the way, remember when this happened? Yeah, this is what happens now. And I was okay with that.
Yeah. That said, that's when things start getting really crazy because this lolicon is, I don't know, hypnotizing her? Something? The screen goes colors and...
I feel like she's just getting into her mind, like really making her uncomfortable. Is like, it's one of those things where I think this shows that Gravity Girl has... built up a physical fortitude and has the technique to take down assailants, but still mentally isn't quite prepared for like mental warfare, more or less. Like
Yeah,
she starts going like, "Oh, I can smell that you have a crush on somebody. You love somebody here, and that's gonna make us friends because we're like the classic villain. We're just the same, you and me. We're gonna be such good friends because we're so alike." And like just. She wasn't ready for something like that, and I think that's what that's supposed to show.
Yeah,
is
there's nothing more psychologically unnerving for some people than seeing a person that you were diametrically opposed to.
start finding similarities.
Yeah, and not just finding similarities, but also saying things about you that they shouldn't know or understand, and getting them on point. That gets under the skin of anybody. So I like it. It is kind of neat to just see her be like, "Hey, so I know what you're about. I know what you got going on." She's like, "No, fuck. No, this is fucking weird. You're fucking weird."
She is fucking weird.
She is. And she probably does some weird fucking. But yeah, so
Either that or she's just totally straight edge when it comes to that.
Yeah.
well, and it's kind of funny. It's neat to watch Froppy, use her tongue and like, "No, you got to get out of here."
Yeah.
And then obviously Uraraka gets stabbed in the leg, that is really unnerving.
Yeah.
Like just something that starts taking blood from you. Oh no. Ooh, that's the bad.
Yeah, I was waiting for her to have some power of like, all right, once I've, taken some blood from a person, now I get their power. I'm like this show's weird psychotic rogue kind of thing, but didn't get any indication of that. So maybe this doesn't have anything to do with her power, because later in the episode when she reports to Frankenface Man, he's like, "You should have gotten 3 samples like we ordered you to," and she's like, "Well, I didn't want to die. Sorry."
Yeah, so clearly dropping some Chekhov's guns
Yeah.
for later there. I'll be interested to see what that's all about. But in the meantime, I think the other big takeaway here was, so Deku's group shows up, chases Lolicon away. A bunch of the kids are all together now, and they're figuring out their plan. We're gonna escort Bakugo because he's the target.
Yeah.
And I noticed they're talking about him like he's not there.
Yeah.
Like you want to design something to piss Bakugo, and it doesn't take much to piss
Yeah.
Bakugo off, but just
All right, we're gonna travel through these woods. We'll surround Bakugo, and he'll be safe. And he's just like, "I don't need your protection."
Yeah,
Hey. Which,
I do like how he's like, "Look, you guys, I don't need any of you. I mean, we still need to walk together." So, God damn it.
yeah.
I guess we're all going in the same direction, so I'll be here. But
I'm escorting you, if anything.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say that was one thing that actually surprised me this episode. Is when Todoroki and Deku are basically just into full on like, "All right, mission command. Here's what our goal's gonna be," and just being like, "We're gonna protect Bakugo. We're gonna make sure nobody gets him." I was ready for Bakugo to just go like, "Well, fuck you guys. I'm heading the other way. Like
Yeah.
these guys want me so bad. I'm taking it to them."
Well, the good thing about Bakugo is that while he is more than inclined to start some shit, he also will stay on. Like he knows. He's not that dumb.
Yeah.
He's not dumb enough to go off on his own to go find shit.
I'm appreciating
So-
Bakugo more and more because it is showing that while he has a terrible temper and probably a tendency for, maybe some evil, one, he seems like he is not all bad, and two, he seems to be able to remain level-headed enough to analyze a situation and go, I hate this, but I'm going to do it because I know it's stupid to do otherwise.
Yeah.
That said, when they realize, oh shit, he's not back there behind us anymore, I fully thought that he just
Had
decided
just
to
turned
peace
around,
out
yeah.
and go do his own thing.
Yeah, I was ready for when they're like, well, shouldn't Bakugo be with you if you're protecting him? I was like, oh shit, he did exactly what I thought he'd do. But then the stage magician man showed up and he was like, hey, what's up? I turned him into this ball.
I fully knew the moment they turned around that someone had got him.
Yeah.
Like the way
Yeah,
that
you've read
shot
the manga, so of course.
Well, no, I meant even motherfucker. I meant when I bitch. Listen, no. The moment they look back, it's framed in a way like, wait, where did he go? In that oh shit, something went wrong, and then we got Mr. Marble Dude. So you've seen Sasuke in a barrel. Now it's Bakugo in a marble.
Yeah.
Mr. Compress, I think.
Yeah, that's what they
compress.
call him.
And he also says, he's like, and by the way, I also got Tokoyami because he fucked the shit out of my friend, and he looked like he'd probably be really good on our team too.
I mean, to be fair, look at Tokoyami.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like him as a villain, totally could see it.
Honestly, between the two of them, if any of them turns out to accidentally be a villain, I could see maybe Tokoyami's just like his dark shadow takes over, and now he's a bad guy, and this is another problem we have to deal with. But so he starts, just kind of flipping away because he's like, haha, I got your friends, bye. I probably shouldn't have said anything to you, and I probably could have assured my escape, but I'm a villain, so I have to monologue. I was a stage performer after all.
Yeah. By the way, a great way to basically give it like, yep, he's a stage performer, which is why he had to show up and be like, by the way, I got your friends. Later, bitches.
Yeah. Another Chekhov's gun that they're clearly dropping for later. They bring one of those Nomu things along.
Yes.
He does pretty.
I forgot about that.
Right. But and because he doesn't really do much except the creation girl.
Yeah, it messes her up something fierce.
Yeah, messes her up and seems like he is right about. She's with I think one of the Class B people. I don't know, somebody who doesn't matter. And
some character unimportant enough that I didn't realize what his quirk was until he used it.
yeah. But she gets him to attach something to the Nomu as he's. By this point, the villains have decided we've got everything we're gonna get out of this. It's time to
Let's
peace
just
out.
go.
And she says, "Hey, attach this to him." I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a tracking device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
By the way, another thing to notice is that I think that the first time we met that guy in particular was during the test of courage, because he was the dude who was able to like have that girl sink and then raise in the earth. Because as you'll see, he can take things and then just basically sink them into stuff or like
Make things part of other things.
yeah, make things part of other things. So yeah, I'm not gonna say that the show does a terrible job at establishing its like lesser used characters for using them for plot points, but it's not the best. It does. There are some times where I'm like, okay, yeah, you did show that guy in a scene like a couple episodes ago, but
I'm not totally against it because I'm okay with it being like this character's in the background and you'll see their powers like once or twice, but when we need them, they get to come out in an unexpected way because we purposely framed them to make you not think about them.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, this situation seems hopeless, what are we going to do? Oh, that's right, we have a guy who solves this problem. We just never needed to use him before.
I am glad that we got more of Tets before
Yeah.
like all this stuff went down. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to be like, oh yeah, you're basically Team B's or you're Class B's version of Kaminari. No, Kamishima?
Kamishima? Names are Rock Guy.
Rock dude, yeah.
Justin Cook Rock Man.
Yeah.
But what I really liked is the team up attack we see against Marble Guy. Because he's getting away at the treetops and everyone's like, we can't follow him on foot. He's too fast. There's no way we're gonna do this. And then Deku's like, all right, Gravity Girl, you make me and Wing Guy and Todoroki just light as air. Froppy, you jump up and throw us, and then as soon as we catch up to him, Gravity Girl, you make us heavy again, and it just is this cool. First off, we have this moment of everyone going, Deku, your arms are shattered. You probably shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck you, I got adrenaline. And we've talked about this before. I really hope there are actual repercussions to this knight because he has really messed up his body at this point, and it looks like that's not about to stop.
I was about to say, I might have liked that combo platter attack thing a little better, if not for the fact that they stop to splint his arms before doing this.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, that's pretty silly. He's running away actively right now.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't have this time. Oh yeah, we do get that. I mean, she's wearing a tank top, so maybe it's not full fan service, but it was just like a weirdly shot scene of Gravity Girl just going like, oh hey, by the way, just like without saying anything, and then she splints his arm. It's like, oh okay, yeah, I guess that works, but that just seemed like a real weird. Check this out.
Yeah.
Look, I don't need this shirt anymore. But it was a cool team up combo attack that I appreciated because I feel like we don't. One, Froppy, while she has clearly shown herself to be capable, I've always been kind of like, what does she? She's a frog. Like that's her power is frog. And in this list of powers in this classroom, while she seems immediately competent, once everyone else is competent, I feel like her power is one of the least impressive of the groups, possibly. And
she has a better power than Mineta, than Invisible Girl, than Tail Dude.
Yo,
I can name you
Tail Dude definitely. I will hand you Tail Dude because I think in the party he might have the least useful power. But Invisible Girl, yo, stealth missions, nothing beats that. Two, like
that's situational but strong within its niche.
Yeah, Frog Girl is one of those things where like is okay at plenty of missions, but I feel like we'll never be like the shining star unless it's we've got this swamp problem and we need to clear out these fly monsters. But
I'm just saying, she's done some badass stuff.
Like I said, she's shown herself to be truly competent, which I think right now is kind of her superpower, because everyone else has been like, I'm a scared child when things go wrong.
Well, that's her superpower, and also being a fan favorite.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Her superpower is being best girl. I do like how whenever she's on the eye catch and it says what
does basically what a frog does, like stretch your tongue.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is our roundabout of look. We don't want to straight up say does whatever a frog can because that's Spider-Man's bit. But look, her power is that she understands that when you have power, there's a responsibility that comes along with it.
I feel like her eye catch power description was something she wrote.
Yeah,
she's like, I don't know, I do pretty much what a frog does, like stretch my tongue out.
I'm a frog girl. What is there? What are you missing about my power set?
Can I be more clear? And then we see, actually, I think this happens before the team up attack, but Naval Laser Kid, who I completely forgot about during this whole chain of events, he is panicking and hiding behind a bush while Dobby is going, breaking down some major part of their plan, like the fact that they have a Nomu and. I feel like he says something else important to Twice, who I keep wanting to call Seconds, and I don't know why. But Naval Laser Kid hears that, and I was waiting for his purpose to be he's going to be around when the villains drop some super important, like, all right, and then we'll meet at this place, or we'll do this thing for this reason. But he never really catches any important information like that, but he apparently gets seen by Dobby, and in the seconds when he's about to get attacked, that's when the rest of the crew bashes in on the situation. Also, real quick before we go any further with that, something to jump back in that I literally just remembered. Spinner and Pillar Sister are about to get taken into custody essentially by the Pussycat Girls and Tiger. When all of a sudden Black Void shows up, he's like, "Hey, we should probably get you out of here. So bye."
By the way, yeah, that guy is the worst, and I mean that in like what an annoying villain. Like, he's like literally like, if they didn't have you, they'd have nothing.
And I love that he spends most of his time fucking tending a bar. I kind of love that guy because he seems like he is the mild-mannered bartender by day, terrifying supervillain who just always saves their ass at night.
Yeah, like he's also got an amazing design.
Yeah.
Like, his design, his character, his voice, everything about him is really great, and he's kind of the linchpin for this whole League of Villains. Like, again, without him, they're fucked because they can't get in or out of situations that otherwise they'd be at a stalemate at best with the heroes.
Yeah, well, half their dudes would be in custody now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
just from not having that instant extraction. Yeah, he's the kind of character who just screams turns out I've been pulling the strings all along in the
Yeah.
end. Like real, actual big bad.
Yeah, I can definitely get that vibe from him. I'm not positive that's the direction it's going, but yeah, he has that air about him and a broken enough power that it's like, no, it turns out I'm the real villain and you can't hit me because my body's a big black void. Like, oh yeah, I guess that that does mess us up.
He's like the dad of the group. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely the dad of the group.
Yeah, because freaking hand face is just like, I just don't want, I want to kill All Might. And he's like, all right, son, whatever you need. We'll go ahead and teleport all these things here.
By the way, afterwards, do you want to go get pizza? No, I want burgers. I like pizza. You ate pizza last week. You loved pizza. No, burgers, Dad.
Well, guys, this show's real good. I'm still enjoying it. I know I've had my nitpicks. I'm probably always going to have my nitpicks. That's half the fun of watching a show like this.
Yeah, no, there's always going to be some nits to pick with a shonen series, especially when you're watching it episode to episode, because it's being adapted from a manga where it probably maybe worked better, considering it was like, week to week, you tune in, you tune out. Not to mention, you're used to binging it. Now you're watching it week to week for this, so it's a very different experience.
The
I love
revelation,
it.
the revelation you're having is what I had last season because I binged all of season 1 and then season 2 I watched as it happened and was like, oh man, I think the best compliment I can give this show at the moment is just every time I can tell an episode is about to end, I'm like mad. 'Cause I'm like, oh no, this is going somewhere where I really want to see what's going to happen next, but they've got 2 more minutes on this timeline. I know that credits is going to come crashing in here any second. I need to know what's going to happen.
Our binge culture is both a blessing and a curse.
I think it's just a curse.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
what if there was a service that would wait until a whole season is out, license it, not let you watch it, but once the season is out, then they'll release the whole thing?
No, because then I'd be mad because I want to watch it as it happened. If that's the case,
You don't think they'd be the grand saviors of all anime?
I've got a lot of opinions on exactly what you just said.
Well, guys, thanks for joining me here today to talk about My Hero. We'll be back
thanks for having me.
next week, as always, until the show's over or we're dead, whichever comes first.